Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how the French defense was completely destroyed. In only 19 moves, I managed to defeat a FIDE master in a classical tournament when he played the French defense. Alright, so let's get going. So I played pawn to e4 and I was up against FIDE master Ivan Matic from Serbia, a 2300 rated FIDE master in a classical tournament, and he decided to play the French defense. I went ahead with pawn to d4, he played pawn to d5, and I chose pawn to e5, the advanced variation. Now why I like so much the advanced variation in the French? Why? First of all, it closes the position, it leaves black with a bad bishop on c8, it takes some space, and this also means that we will have prospects for kingside attack. Because of our pawn on e5, black cannot put his knight to f6, and usually the knight on f6 is a good defender of the black king. So when the black king castles on the king side, usually in the French, it does not have too many pieces that could defend his king. So when white plays pawn to e5, he is signifying that he wants to eventually go for play on the king side. So usually the strategy for white, he plays pawn to c3 to solidify his center, he plays knight to f3, he develops his bishop either to e2 or d3, he usually castles, and then he proceeds with some play on the king side. Meanwhile, black is trying to play moves such as pawn to c5 and undermine the white center. This is one of my favorite variations to play against the French defense. Black played pawn to c5, immediately challenging the center. What do? Simply defend. Pawn to c3. And here, black surprised me with the move queen f5, a very strange looking move. However, black's idea was clear. He wants to take on d4, and because of the pin of his queen on a5, I would have been forced to take back with my queen. So I thought for a bit here, I was a bit caught by surprise by my opponent's rare innovation. I decided to take on c5, immediately threatening b4 to kick his queen back. Black retreated to c7, maintaining pressure on e5 and still attacking c5. Development, knight f3. Now usually when you don't know what to do, it never hurts to simply develop a piece. So knight f3, bishop captures c5, and I played bishop d3. So we see this pawn on e5, still it gives us a lot of prospects. Knight to c6 was now played. So both sides usually have the clear strategy in chess. So white is developing pieces, trying to maintain the grip in the center, and black is attacking the center. Here I defended with queen to e2, and black, he correctly played pawn to f6, trying to get rid of that menace on e5. And here, again developing pieces, bishop to f4. Black now, he was feeling fiery. He didn't want to just sit down. He played pawn to g5, attacking that bishop. After bishop g3, pawn to g4, and oh no, it looks like I'm going to lose a pawn. However, black has made significant weaknesses in his position with a king in the center on e8. So I was not afraid to sacrifice some material. Here I played knight to d4. He could have taken twice on d4, but then I am not afraid to sacrifice. First of all, his pawn on g4 is hanging. I would castle, possibly develop my knight, and I would have great compensation. Black decided to take the pawn like this. Knight captures d5. I did not want to give him knight captures d3 to take my powerful light squared bishop. I simply moved back. And here black played pawn to h5. I proceeded with pawn to h3, opening my rook, trying to create some pressure. And black has a problem of his king. Black just simply didn't know what to do. Here black played queen to g7, bringing his queen across, defending g4. But black missed the move. Queen to b5 check. All of a sudden his bishop on c5 is not feeling too well. He could not play knight to d7 due to knight captures e6, and everything is falling apart. He had to part with the piece. Bishop d7, I simply took his bishop. After rook c8, queen to d6, and black all of a sudden is just down a piece. He played pawn to h4, trying to stir up some counterplay. I took on e5. F captures e5, knight captures e6, everything looks like it's falling apart. One last attempt, queen f6, it looks like black perhaps is getting the piece. But here, can you see the move that I played? Here I played bishop to g6 check, and my opponent resigned in only 19 moves. The French defense was annihilated. He resigned because if queen captures g6, queen f8 would simply be checkmate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, like it, comment, let me know what was your favorite moment of the game, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more.